हेलो फ्रेंड्स। आज के वीडियो में हम देखेंगे कि हाउ टू मैनेज स्टडीज़ एंड कंटेंट क्रिएशन। बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स होते हैं जिनको बहुत सारे स्टडी करना होता है। फॉर एग्जांपल कोई भी स्टूडेंट है, उनको स्टडी भी करना होता है, क्लासेस भी करना होता है, अटेंडेंस का भी टेंशन होता है। तो इन सब चीज़ों को कैसे मैनेज करें और इसके साथ कंटेंट क्रिएशन और यूट्यूब की जर्नी को कैसे कंटिन्यू करें, ये हम आज के इस वीडियो में देखने वाले हैं। तो मैं आपको स्टेप वाइज प्रोसीजर बताऊंगा कि हाउ टू मैनेज कंटेंट क्रिएशन विथ योर कॉलेज एंड योर स्टडीज एंड योर एग्जाम्स। So we will see step wise procedure. I will tell you 8 steps how to manage content creation. So friends, first topic is eliminating digital leakage. So first of all, you have to check your screen time and evaluate your screen time, and you have to check which app is consuming your time. For example, Instagram, Facebook and Twitter, which app is consuming your time and it does not serve your studies and your content creation journey. So you have to uninstall that app immediately. For example, any app which is taking more than 30 minutes of your time and does not support your content creation journey or your study, you have to uninstall it immediately, because we have to gather our time and we have to stop leaking our time, because we have studies and content creation, we have to manage both. So we cannot accept wastage of our time. If you can control your doom scrolling, if you can stop your doom scrolling, you will have insane authority over your time, because there is a report that says on an average a man spends 5 to 6 hours of his time on doom scrolling on social media. So you have to stop that, so that you can have insane authority over your time. So friends, the chapter number 2 of that video is using hidden time pockets. Stop waiting for a massive free amount of time so that you can use that for content creation. You have to use hidden time pockets between your commute, between walking, between classes of free time, while sitting in the library and while having the break. You have to use those times to create the content creation journey. For example, you have time between two classes, you can use that time for thinking about the thumbnail creation, thumbnail design. For example, you are free for the next 1 hour, so you can write down script bullet points of the script. You have to use any amount of time that is available. You can use that for content creation. You can use that time for you thinking new video idea. For example, which time you can use while going from hostel to college, while sitting for and waiting for the next class. For example, between two classes you have 10 to 15 minutes of time, and while in the break you have insane amount of time, so you can use that time also. So primarily you have to stop waiting for massive uninterrupted block of free time. Instead, you have to use the time pockets that are available in between your commute, walking, between classes, between break time and so much more. Now the chapter number 3 is force high velocity execution, because there is one law named Parkinson's law that says work expands to fill the time available for its completion. So for example, if you give 3 hours to clean a particular room, it will take 3 hours, but if you give 30 minutes to clean that room, it will take only 30 minutes. So if you do not force the high velocity execution, you will have excessive time, and in the excessive time you will have paralysis over analysis, you will chase perfectionism, you will overthink, and you will have constant distraction. So you have to do force velocity execution, high speed execution. You have to set particular amount of time to do the particular work. For example, between your commute you have half an hour, so you have to think that in this half an hour I will finalize my next video title. Now the topic number 4 is set strict deadlines. Never look for how much time is available, look for how much time is actually needed to complete that task. Set strict countdown timer in your phone and shock your mind into a high execution state. Now the chapter number 5 is batch processing. So you have to batch similar tasks together so as to reduce the context switching friction. For example, you have to shoot 3 short videos, then write those 3 short videos script together, because those are hyper similar tasks. Okay, so that you can batch those tasks together. Then if you have to shoot those 3 short videos, then shoot them together. because if you shoot them separately, then each time you have to set up your camera, set up your stand, set up your mic, and set up your lightning, so it will require so much more time. So if you can do these three things together, three shots shooting together, then you will have reduced the context switching friction. Now the chapter number 6 is flow state. So you have to put for 20 to 25 minutes of high concentration work to enter into the flow state. So if you can do the batch processing, then you can enter the flow state very quickly. For example, if you do hypersimilar tasks together, then you will also enter the flow state and you will have much more result and much more impact and much more high velocity execution. So friends, now the chapter number 7 is daily systemic management. So you have to make a to-do list before you touch your workflow, and do not include minute tasks into your to-do list, because then your to-do list become very large and it will create a bad psychological impact. And if you complete one task from your to-do list, then cut off that task from your to-do list, because it will give a slight dopamine hit and it will have a good impact, and so that you can attack your next task with more energy and more enthusiasm. Now the final chapter, chapter number 8, strategic recovery protocol. You have to take 6 to 7 hours of sleep daily. Reject the toxic side hustle culture that equates sleep with laziness. And one more very important thing, social media scrolling, Instagram scrolling or reels scrolling is not recovery, it is a self distraction. And if you really want to be a YouTuber, really want to be a content creator while continuing your studies and continuing your college and your exams, then you have to eliminate your social media distraction and eliminate your doom scrolling. Because if you can save those 5 to 6 hours, you can 100% utilize those hours in content creation, you can 100% be a good YouTuber. So thank you for watching this video. लाइक शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब टू माई वीडियो, बिकॉज ऐसे ही मैं इंपॉर्टेंट चीज़ें आपके लिए लाता रहूँगा.